The reason why we have to get rid of annualized thinking, the 12-month year, we have to get rid of that. Because the reality is, when you start off the year, you start off strong. We're going to make X amount of sales by December. We're going to increase our revenue by such and such. What happens on one of your days? You're going to work, your car breaks down, you have a shit day. And then the next day, the electricity goes out in the building. You've now lost 2 days of work. And 3 days, and 4 days. Next thing you know, you're in May going, what happened in January? We haven't achieved any of our goals yet, but there's still more time. Still got another however many months, 7 months. So you go all the way up until, July, and okay, pressure's on a little bit, but that's okay. We have another 6 months until we reach our 12-month goal. The reality is you heap up so much stuff on yourself towards the end of the year, you're absolutely burnt out, emotionally exhausted. The time doesn't change. You've still got 6 hours a day, but you're emotionally exhausted because now you feel like a failure. We haven't achieved our goals. So what we want to do is make it really, really clear that if we move out of this 12-month thinking and move all the way down to 12-week thinking. Because I can plan at the beginning of the year that by July I'm going to have a website. Reality is you're going to pay someone $2,000 and you can have that website done in a week. You've given yourself 6 months and you're not a genius at it anyway. So if we condense our 12 months all the way down to 12 weeks, think of what is the 12-week year. And all of those things you assumed you're going to achieve in 12 months, you can achieve in 12 weeks. I've seen it happen over and over and over again. But here's the differentiator. The distinction is this, is that you have to honor your genius. If you're not honoring your genius, what ends up happening is that you're going to spend what you believe to be 1 month is very quickly going to turn into 2 months. If you're not an expert at building websites, don't even bother trying. Don't jump on Wix and all this other nonsense. Hire someone. Create one for yourself and create one for your team. Because their genius is different to yours. You have to know what your genius is. What am I going to do over the next 12 weeks to achieve what I wanted to achieve in 12 months? Now do it in 3 months. And then create one for your team. Team, your goal is to such and such. You can even go down to the level of each individual staff member. Your goal for the next 30 days is to increase sales by 1%, as an example. That's their goal. Your goal as a business owner could be something completely different. Okay? And with this, what ends up happening is that you go down from your 12-month plan down to a 3-month plan, but now we have to go down to the monthly level. At the monthly level is where it starts getting crucial. 30 days, 4 weekends, so that's 8 days out of it. 22, how many shit days do we have a week? 1? Can we give ourselves 1 shit day a week? Yeah? So we have 18 days to go. How many of those days things don't go quite right? Something comes up, got to take the day off. Kids are at home sick, something or other. Husband's at home sick. The man flu is real. So let's say we take off another 2 days. Even at this level, what you perceive to be a 30-day month is not really a 30-day month. Unless you're working weekends and all those things as well. In 16 days, can you achieve your monthly goal? I believe it's possible. 1 month seems like a long time, but the reality is you've only got 16 days. Take out weekends, take out sick hubby days, take out all that kind of good stuff. You've only got 16 days to go. So what do we do with those 16 days? All right. Those 16 days, there are 3 components. How many components? 1, 2, 3. Let's start off with the end and work our way to the front. Number 3 are your buffer days. I'll explain that in a second. Number 2, specific. You're carrying on specific tasks. And the other component is your crucial. So in Melissa's case, if Melissa stopped selling, the business would go bust. So you have to differentiate, is selling crucial or specific? Pretty crucial, right? So you have to assign yourself a certain amount of time to focus on sales. Now, what feels like, hey, but random things come up, if you know that you have to do it every single day, then just set 1 or 2 50-minute blocks. Basically, they're called focus finders. They force you to focus for 50 minutes. You have to set however many blocks you need per day to focus on the crucial stuff. Then you have the specific stuff, which is staff management. Here's what happens. If you've got to make a sale and your staff member is going, the coffee machine doesn't work. I can't start my day without coffee. I don't really think that's crucial for the business success, so we have to not focus on that. Here is what I do. I have an app on my computer, on my Mac. It's essentially just a timer widget. And the timer widget sets to 50 minutes. And I work in 50-minute blocks. Okay? And then after those 50 minutes, I take a 10-minute break and I do another round of 50 minutes. Inside those 50 minutes, I'm working on one thing. I don't work on 3 things. I work on one thing during a 50-minute block. So inside of this 6 hours, I'm not working for the entire 6 hours straight. That's ludicrous. No one does it. We're off with the fairies by the 40-minute mark. But if you focus on a 50-minute block, you can work for those 6 hours throughout your day with a 10-minute gap in between. You're honoring your body and your mind without it having to tell you to. If your mind is telling you, have a break, you're doing it wrong. You want to honor your humanness, and after 50 minutes of solid thinking, you want to move on. What I've noticed that inside those 50 minutes, I'll actually get more done than if I had 6 hours to do the exact same task. Then you have to book in your specific time. Maybe it's person maintenance. Walking up to your team member while they're making a phone call, give them a pat on the back and say, you've done a great job. Is it going to make or break the business? Are you going to spend 50 minutes doing it? Probably not. Can you spend one 50-minute block every 3, 4, 5 days to go around to all your team members and say, good job? Can you spend 50 minutes just having a conversation, not with each one obviously, but collectively with your team? Or maybe even with your best clients. Give them a call. And then your buffer days, now this is generally 1 or 2 days from your 16. This is where you do the stuff that you don't really want to do. This is the kind of stuff where you're maybe not an expert at, you're just inclined to research, how do I send an email with Entreport? And that's where you look at that. So all of these are set up in 50-minute blocks. So firstly, you choose your crucial, specific, and buffer days. Okay? And if you have to do something every day like selling, you're not going to stop that because it's, team pat on the back day. Set those blocks throughout your calendar.